Hey, I'm Bronson, and this is a secondary market update video for the IRA starter deck in Flesh and Blood. Just as a reminder, this is not investment advice. I am a collector of Flesh and Blood, and this should not be used for investment purposes. So, what I've noticed recently on eBay is that this product is selling between $15 and $20, 25 being like the maximum amount that I've seen. uh, One thing that I've noticed is a trend, and goes for the same thing with the Go Bananas card, is that people are selling the Ira promo deck as a bunch. It's trying to sell it as a part of a bunch bulk deal because it's hard to justify paying $20, $25 for something that you really can't open, something that's just there as a token of something of Flesh and Blood history. So as you can see on the screen, the result here, it looks like there was a product that sold for $15, but there's $4 shipping, so that's essentially $20. And then up here we can see that there are other bulk purchases where people are selling it with the other starter decks for Welcome to Wrath. And I really like this as a collector because, and I have all of these products. I like having it because it shows the starter decks and what Flesh and Blood originally was, with the beginning heroes. And the cool thing about the Ira starter deck is it's in their learn to play video, guys. Like, that's so cool. Like, you have the video that shows you how to play the game, and you have a piece of that history because you have a deck that was used in that video. And that's really nice to see. Now, just as more of a background on this deck, if you do not know, the Ira starter deck was given out to early adopters of the game for Flesh and Blood. So they would give them, Legend Story Studios gave it away for free to the distributors of their products and to the local game stores. And they said to them, hey, if someone comes in your store and asks about Flesh and Blood and said, hey, what is this? I'm interested. This would be a free product that the stores would give to the customers. Now, this is more of a conspiracy theory. I have no basis for this knowledge, but I I don't know how many local game stores or stores in general gave free items to their customers. I I could be negative here and thinking the worst of people, but I just feel like the stores don't do this in real life. Like, I've never gone into a local game store and they've given out free things, free game supplies for me to use. I don't know if I don't know if you've experienced that in your life. If you have, that's awesome. And I think honestly this is a great it was a great push to get their product into the market. And I wish more game companies did this. I wish more companies tried to put the cards in your hand, tried to get you invested in the game, said, "Hey, here's just like literally what this is like 25 cards. It's what did this cost to produce? Maybe 25 cents, 30 cents. This is a very affordable thing. This is a very cheap marketing in the long run to just give people a couple starting cards just to get them interested in your game." But my conspiracy theory is this: stores had this in the back of their place. They didn't do anything with it. They didn't. They forgot about it most likely. And then once Flesh and Blood started to boom, and they realized that these things were selling for at least $10 to $15 on eBay, they they started selling them on eBay. Started selling them on those avenues because I have seen, like, there is a good amount of them sealed. And yeah, I could be totally making all this stuff up. I am making all this stuff up, but it's just kind of my thoughts on the matter. And if stores actually did give them out, then congrats. But yeah, onto that note too is the purpose of this product was to get people interested in the game. So there's two conflicting factors that are going through my mind. First is people would probably want to open them, right? People would open the Ira starter deck and start playing the game and start actually interacting with the cards if they were given them. But and that means there's a lower supply of actual sealed decks. But what's weird is on eBay, all I see is sealed decks. Like I've seen a couple that are unsealed, like they're open and it says, "Oh, I opened this and here it is." I've seen a couple, but the majority of the stuff, guys, is sealed. So that tells me that I don't know. I don't know what that tells me. It just says that it's weird that like more sealed product versus unsealed, and that kind of goes into my theory of I think game stores didn't really give this stuff out as much as Legend Story Studios would have hoped, which is creating more sealed product. Another thing is this product's purpose was to get people interested in the game. So I don't know how limited the supply is. I think that they tried to produce a lot of these in order to get a lot of people interested in the game and to get the people hooked. So I think the amount of these printed is probably a good amount. What that amount is, or if I'm right or wrong on that, that's all up for debate. And that's really the heart of the matter here, guys, is how many exist in the market, and we'll never know that. But unless they release that print run data, but what I can tell you is that I don't see too many going on eBay. There's definitely more of these than the Go Bananas cards. I can tell you that much. I'll go to the current listings for this card. But as you can see, there's other big packages that have sold that kind of have the four main starter decks and a playmat and this Ira starter deck. I think these bundles are really cool, and it's cool having like all the starter products. So let's see what's currently out there. All right, so the main one I see right here is for $75, which includes the Go Bananas card. But then right here, what's cool is there's another one for 20. It looks like there's one for 50, and there's one for 22, 28. There's a good amount of listings for this stuff. But what do you guys notice? It's all sealed. It's all sealed. There's no. I literally checked for here. What is it? Ira starter deck, and it's all sealed. I didn't filter on sealed at all. So that that kind of supports my theory that these decks really weren't played with as much, and they they were kept sealed. So I think that it's not going to be as limited in that sense where there's more unsealed than actual sealed, and the sealed are put more money on it. But that's just what I think. Uh, that kind of sums it up for this video. Again, this is not investment advice. I'm just a collector and really interested in this stuff. So I hope you learned something and have a good one.